Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode, or should I say a special episode of the Hunt the Wild podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bolds, and today I'm joined with Brett Morris of Blue River Bowhunting and Kurt Box of Great American Country Outdoors. How you guys doing?
What's going on? I've been ready to make this little episode there for a while. We got a pretty special announcement for everybody.
Yeah, pretty excited. Cool little, I guess you could call it an event type deal. So pretty.
Now, now I'm gonna let Brett kind of and Kurt both kind of introduce it as their podcast slash YouTube thing too, because this is not only my show. It's actually gonna be aired on Blue River Bowhunting podcast and then American Country Outdoors YouTube channel. So depending on where you're listening from, we're all here together. But we're gonna talk about an event that we have coming up. Brett, you want to kind of take the reins on that?
Yeah, we've kind of me, Adam, and Kurt have talked about it for a while now, but we're kind of throwing some stuff together, and we're going to host a public land deer camp in Hoosier National Forest in southern Indiana this coming fall. The dates of October 21st through the 23rd, basically that whole weekend of the 22nd. We're going to be camping and just having a good time. We got people coming from everywhere. Kurt's from Texas. I got guys coming from West Virginia, possibly Ohio, Michigan, Tennessee. There's people coming from everywhere just to come down and have a good time with us and, do a deer camp. It's always fun to hit maybe a public spot that you obviously have never hunted before, come back, throw some stuff on the fire, throw some burgers on, drink some beers with the guys and start a fire and, bullshit and talk hunting all night, which sounds like an absolute blast.
Yeah, and there's if you're listening and you decide to come, you'll likely see a lot of people that have been on the podcast before, just friends that we've all met, through podcasting and YouTube and social media and everything. But you never know, there could be folks that are coming, and Brett, you may know, Kurt, you may know, folks that are coming that haven't been on the shows before too. So it's a good chance to meet other hunters that you haven't heard from and just kind of talk and get to know each other in a relaxing, chill hunting environment.
Yeah, and you never know, you make a special friendship with somebody. You really hit it off with a guy and you're talking in camp, and like I said, you got guys coming from lots of places. You could trade hunts with somebody or just become buddies and meet up with them on social and that kind of thing. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm jacked up. I got quite the crowd, I think, coming with me. I mean, I wouldn't say nothing crazy, but definitely going to be a lot of fun.
Can you just throw out a few names real quick, or is that something that we want to keep under wraps?
I mean, I could tell you who's probably going to come with me.
The listeners might be interested in, maybe they've caught episode 22 of your podcast and it just happens to be that guy, and they're like, man, that guy's cool. Like, I really want to meet him or something,
Well, you've definitely heard him on my show as a co-host and a guest, but my neighbor Adam Bonowitz is going to go with a couple of guys from his little group. Are going to come down, and I got some guys from work from Indianapolis that are going to come down. I got Troy Delaney from West Virginia. He said he doesn't even want to hunt. He just wants to come hang out with us. He listens to both of our podcasts. He said it would be super cool to meet us in person. He even says he's my long-lost cousin. But it's just fun to I think it's just going to be fun. I've done deer camp in so many different ways, in a camper, in a tent, sleeping in an enclosed trailer. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun to put it all together with a bunch of people, and we say it's an event, right? But, obviously sometimes you're not really going to get back to the camp area until you're done hunting, obviously. I mean, I'm going hunting, That's why we're there to begin with. We're wanting to chase some of those big southern Indiana bucks, but just coming together as a couple podcasts and Kurt's American Country Outdoors from Texas, and having the military side of stuff with him, and it's just going to be a lot of fun and meet a lot of cool people in the process.
Can't wait to get my deer camp virginity taken.
Oh yeah, it'll be a good time. I'll be hanging out at camp the whole time because I'm shooting the first spike that walks out. So
There you go.
Kurt, it sounds like Kurt's going to be the camp cook after he fills his tag after being there for like 1
I'm
hour.
definitely going to be camp cook. I love cooking. I saw a funny kind of TikTok today. It said, my buddy wants to know why I shot a 30-pound doe, and then that stale cracker from TikTok comes on there. He's like, I'm putting that on a cracker, dude.
Jeez. Well, Kurt, what's kind of your thoughts or your reasoning, other than hanging out with us two wonderful fellows? Why you want to drive all the way up here to Southern Indiana to hunt? I mean, people got to be wondering what's you're in Texas where everybody wants to go hunt. So why are you coming here to cornfields and bean fields?
ever since I was on your podcast, we kind of talked about like, oh yeah, I'll come up there. I travel everywhere to hunt anyways, and I was pretty serious about it. And then I started a new job, so I didn't think I was going to get the time off, and now it's looking like I'll have the time to get away for a few days. So pretty excited. And then I'm actually meeting with Mark. He was on your show, Adam, a while ago. I'm meeting him in Junction this Friday and Saturday. I'm going to meet him out at his ranch. I've never been out there, so I'm going to take a look around his ranch and see what it looks like. And then we're going to talk about it. I think he's going to join me. He just has to get care for his mother. I think he mentioned it on your show. His mother's not doing so well, so he's going to get some care for his mother so he can travel with me. And he lives in Houston, so about 2 hours from me. I will probably, whatever's quicker, meet up and head up there. So the drive isn't as bad with two guys. We'll probably just drive straight through, honestly.
Yeah, so we should have folks from now we're looking at Troy's from Ohio, right? Or West Virginia?
West Virginia.
So we got West Virginia, Texas, Indiana, obviously. We have any other states? I
think I talked to Paul Campbell from the O2 podcast. He said his birthday falls right around there. He was going to try to make it. And I invited his co-host that was on my show last week, Andrew Muntz. I've invited all kinds of people. I think the guys from Michigan may come. It's going to be hard for them because the following weekend, Halloween weekend, Zach Sloan from Midstate Outdoors is actually coming to stay with me for a little bit, and we're going to do some hunting around the Halloween mark here in Indiana, which I've been fortunate enough to take bucks that weekend for the last couple of years, so I'm usually on them pretty hot by then.
Yeah, it'll be cool to hang out with guys from different states and kind of, because we're so used to social media and just kind of getting a glimpse of it, or even talking to somebody for a couple hours, you just kind of get a glimpse of it. So it'll be interesting to pick up on some of those minute things you don't always catch from other states.
I think the coolest part of it is everybody's going to have a different approach to what they're going to try to do. I'm going to be in a saddle with sticks and basically a camera probably, unless one of the guys I hunt with has already killed, and then I might actually get behind my bow. But some people may have climbers. Somebody might hunt out of a ground blind. I know Kurt likes to hunt from the ground. There's just so many different approaches that you can take to it and try to get it done. But you know how it can be, hunting public land. Some people, may not want to put that extra pressure when it comes to your private spot, hunting certain funnels or ridges and that sort of thing when it comes to your wind. Some people throw the inhibitions to the wind when it comes to public land. We'll see who actually, tries a little harder maybe, trying to get on one of those bucks and see how. That would be awesome. Say if it's just one person out of all these people we're talking about that come, kills a 150. How awesome would that be?
That would be awesome.
Right.
I'm kind of thinking like, obviously not everybody's going to kill a 150. Nobody might kill anything other than a spike. But I'm thinking like we should do I don't know, maybe we can do $5, $10, maybe $20 max. Nothing going to break it, but maybe we do a little pot on who can kill the biggest deer. If you kill a spike and nobody else kills, sounds like you might win, Kurt.
What about just like the biggest doe?
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident in the fact that I know that doe would probably get thrown on some on a fire or a grill or something that night for sure. I know I would if I killed one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If I get a doe tag and a buck tag, I'm definitely gonna try to smoke a doe first day so we can have some meat. We already talked about it a little bit before the podcast, and that's kind of my plan. Hopefully get a little meat for us, and then I'll take what we don't eat, of course, home, but hunt a buck after that.
So obviously we're both not, huge podcasts or anything. We don't have like a ton of sponsors, anything like that. But I am out of my own pocket I'm gonna bring obviously a shit ton of stickers because everybody loves stickers. But I'm gonna have some t-shirts printed up. So if that's some incentive for you to drive 500 or 1,000 miles to get a free t-shirt, I got you.
I mean, I'm going to do the same. I obviously will bring some stickers myself. I'll try to get some shirts and stuff made. Usually whenever I get that sort of stuff made, it's gone pretty quick. So I'll try to get that made up before I leave.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to bring I don't have many stickers. I think they're all with John in Midland. Maybe I can get he lives by my mom, so maybe I can get her to pick me up some and bring them out next time she comes. But I'll definitely bring some shirts that I got, and I know if Mark does come, he'll bring probably a bunch of swag for people too.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we can even break it down to like American Country Outdoors team, Blue River Bowhunting team, the Hunt the Wild podcast team. I'll probably be on my lonesome by myself. Everybody's going to join you guys' team.
I might have to loan a couple out to you. I think I'm going to have plenty.
No, we'll draft them once they get there.
Yeah, we'll do a draft.
Brett gets first pick, though, since he's bringing all the people. And I'm only with one guy. My guy from Arizona that was possibly going to come drew a October tag. So he's not going to be able to make it. He's taking work off to hunt coos bucks in Arizona. So
I don't know if he listens to this or not, but I invited Braden Ware from Go Wild, and he seemed very interested in it. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, Braden, if you listen to this, I'm just curious too. Send me a message on Go Wild or something, because I want to know if you're actually listening or not, or if you just told me you're a fan.
No, I think they listen.
Man, I haven't been on Go Wild in a little bit. I haven't really been on social media too much lately. Not for any reason, but I just have been what I feel busy. But
I've been cruising Go Wild quite a bit here recently. I don't know. It's like part of my routine, shit, shower and shave kind of thing in the morning and sit there and scroll through it and look at some of the deer and fish and stuff that people put on there. It's pretty fun.
I usually remember, around hunting season to start hopping on all the social medias because I want to see what everyone killed, and I'm a part of Kentucky pages. I told you I'm coming out in Kentucky in 2023. Me, John, and my buddy Joey, and possibly my buddy Dakota in Arizona. But we're definitely going to Kentucky for that velvet archery season. So I'm always following Kentucky pages in Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, Arizona. So once hunting season starts up, that's when I get back on social media.
I'm sure a lot of people are that way when it comes to Go Wild. It's probably something that they kind of just put off for a while, but once that stuff starts coming around, entering their mind a lot more, especially during the season itself, I'm sure people are all over it.
Yeah, definitely.
So you guys have heard our pitch now. The listeners have heard our pitch about come hunt with us. We'll just, it's free event. You just come there and pay for the camping, and we're going to kind of transition into that now. And Brett's kind of got a good understanding on the campground and the pricing and kind of, I guess, the layout or what you can and can't bring, like a fifth wheel trailer or a tent. But I'll hand the reins over to Brett now and kind of let him lay out the living situation.
I don't know if, as far as like campers and stuff, it doesn't say that's not a thing. So I'd imagine you can. I can make a phone call and figure that out. But it says it's $8 per day. This is at German Ridge Recreation Area in Cannleton, Indiana. It's very easy to find. It's operated by the Tell City Ranger District out of Tell City, Indiana. It's basically at the corner, the southeast corner of Hoosier National, but you're right in the thick of it. You're going to be in some pretty good stuff. Hoosier National is a very large area that you can hunt. So even if we're just stationed out of that campground and then go checking it out, but it says $8 a day, self-pay. But I don't know exactly how many spots they have, but if it's all of us that are doing it, it's not something that's like, well, I'm the only one that's going to be on the spot sort of thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
we're all going to be doing it together. I'm probably going to be in a tent or an enclosed trailer, so I don't care if somebody else puts their stuff right up to me or whatever. Especially when it comes to we get this stuff cooking. Somebody get a big old grill fired up, some charcoal or whatever, and I'll bring some good stuff. I'll bring some turkey breasts from my bird from Michigan. We'll throw some deer steaks on, brats, hot dogs.
Deer salami's on me, boys.
That sounds good too.
I'm loaded up.
I got some mule deer brats I can bring.
I just canned some homemade salsa this past week. I could have some homemade salsa, some pickles, and all kinds of stuff, man.
See, guys, we're moving in for the hook now. We're trying to we got you with the free T-shirts and shit. Now we're trying to get you with the food.
No, but in all seriousness, we would really enjoy if we, I'm not looking for a rock concert crowd. I'm looking for a crowd of guys that want to come and have a good time and talk deer hunting. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen when we come back from deer hunting. Hopefully, we've got something to look at on the back of somebody's tailgate. That's gonna spark a lot of stuff. But if not, just us being back at camp it's probably gonna be an awesome time, man. I don't care if I sleep on the ground. I'm going.
and Brett, we'll have to talk and we'll have to work some details out about seeing if we can record a podcast in some way. Around the fire. I don't know how that's going to be with 15 or 20 people drinking beer and all that, trying to get everybody on the same page. But we may aim at it, or we may do some kind of live streaming or something for anybody that can't make it. Maybe you want to sit around and tell ghost stories with us. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure there will be plenty of cameras recording that weekend, so I'm sure we'll have content on YouTube afterwards. I know I'm going to be hunting pretty hard after that weekend, so it may take me just a little bit to get that content out, but I'll definitely be working on it. My content starts very, very soon. I'll be headed to Kentucky opener, like Kurt was talking, the Velvets. I'll be doing that here in just a couple weeks. I'm excited. It's going to be a hot one, but I'm diving head first.
Yeah, Brett,
get that thermocell.
Give me some pins. Go ahead and download Onyx. Join the Adam and Kurt band on Onyx and drop me some pins for next season.
I think the people that are taking me are putting a blindfold on me. But I'm pretty excited for this season as a whole. I have high expectations for the people that I'm hunting with and around this season. And when it comes to just the ag that's in, this going based off the season we had last year wasn't as great. I just hope everything kind of turns around. Indiana numbers are kind of down compared to what they have been in the past. Don't let that deter you from coming to this event, because where you're going, there's so many freaking deer. It's unreal.
Now, normally in this situation, I would say Brett's lying. There's no deer here, but we actually do want you to come to this. So I'll tell you, Southern Indiana, it's overlooked.
It is.
It's really not that expensive, man. I mean,
no, it's not. It can be if you make it that way.
Oh yeah, if you start getting a second buck tag or doe tag, we were looking at the extra tags when we talked about this originally. It can get pricey, but what did we say it was for just a buck tag, like $235 for out of state?
Yeah, I think it's like a $250 tag, but that is basically just for you to shoot a buck. If you want multiple deer tags, it's going to cost you more. I know if you buy like the sportsman's package or whatever the hell it's called here in Indiana, it's like $550 or something, but you get 3 deer out of it.
Yeah. And real quick, circle back around. So it's not $8 a person to camp; it's $8 a spot.
I believe that's how it works. Yes, we're obviously going to have more information as it comes to everybody that we'll post on all of our socials. We're going to have like a little flyer type thing, thumbnail made up, and we'll have addresses for all that kind of stuff. But as far as I know, it just said $8 a spot, and that's just going off the self-pay tube. So I may just throw a 20 in there or 40 for everybody.
And and Brett and I just prior to coming on the show, we had talked about maybe hopping down there on a couple weekends and doing a squirrel hunt together and giving us kind of a chance to scout it out. So hopefully we can get down there and look at the campground. We can figure out if you can put tents on it, if you can bring a trailer or a camper or whatever. And we'll kind of pound out some more of the details, the specifics for you guys. But
I would imagine with a year-round campground like that, it's probably primitive.
Yeah.
You can still bring it'd probably be like a little gravel spot. You could put a camper or a pop-up or whatever on. But I'm going to say there's a 99% chance that it's probably doesn't have electric.
Yeah. Question.
so
I got a couple of extra trail cameras. I don't know if y'all do, but maybe I could mail them to y'all, and y'all could throw them out when y'all go scout on the 20th.
You
So
better hope they're still there.
are they cell cameras?
I do have a cell cam I could send y'all, but we had 2 cell cams. Our Browning one is working, but our Spy Point one died. And then I think in total between John and I, we probably have like 12 or 13 cameras. And I mean, right now we only have like 13 acres that we have them on, and they're all out there right now because they even covering that whole thing, it's better than them sitting in my house.
Right.
Minus the one sitting on my stairs over there. They're all out there pretty much, and maybe since I'm going out there with Mark, I can pull a few of them down and mail them to y'all, so we can at least throw them up, and y'all can go check them one more time before the hunt. Maybe get people excited.
For the listeners, if we do for some chance get a cell camera, Brett or Kurt, because I don't have any cell cameras, will take the pictures and they'll post them online of these big giant bucks. And if that's not enough to get you to come, then fuck you.
Well, let me just throw some numbers out there that may help that just a little bit.
All right.
In 2020, 953 deer were harvested from Hoosier National Forest. Of those, 411 were antlered, 99 were button bucks, and 443 were does, or antlerless deer. So a lot of deer in the area. I don't remember exactly how many acres Hoosier National is. It's something like 80,000 or something like that. It's a very, very big piece that covers like 5 different counties in Indiana. So it's not like you even have to hunt anything close to where we're at. There is going to be plenty of spots. It's the kind of place that you need to pay attention to when you go into, because you can get lost. It's one of those places. It's that big.
Let me just touch on that real quick. What did you say the acreage was?
80,000 or something?
So we're looking at 204,000 acres.
Oh, I was way off.
It's a big chunk. Maybe not to Kurt, but it is to us.
Yeah, it's very big.
Okay, so I guess we'll touch on 2 things here. First thing would be kind of your situation on what you're going to bring, since me and Brett only live 2 hours away. So if it gets too bad, we can just roll up and go home. But you're going to have to be super prepared to like camp out for 2 days or whatever. So I kind of want to prepare anybody that is not from that area.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe give them an idea of what you're going to bring and how you're going to come back with all this meat and what coolers and tents. And then secondly, I'm going to have Brett touch on kind of like the food situation. Like, is that something we're providing? Everybody's providing it themselves. If it's primitive, is there going to be water access there? Or is that something we're going to have to bring in? But Kurt, I'll let you kind of tackle that first.
Yeah. So, this isn't like it's a long drive, but it's not like a big, long trip, in the sense of we're not going to be out there for week or weeks at a time. I wish, but so you don't have to really prepare in the sense of how am I going to get water or how many waters do I need to bring, stuff like that. I'm sure there's convenience stores on your way, pick up some cases of water. But that's definitely the biggest, because even sitting in a tree stand, man, it gets hot quick, you get thirsty. And then, just making sure you have, if you're out of state, all your license, and of course, pack your bow, binoculars, rangefinder, all your basic stuff, which I'm sure there'll be a few people that have extras in case someone does forget something. But my biggest thing will be, coolers, and then make sure you know your state laws. Like New Mexico, you can't cross into New Mexico with a deboned animal. The bone still has to be in it. So like there's like certain levels of butchering you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do crossing certain state lines. And I hope someone doesn't like go call me out like it has to be boned or something. So it was an example, but
Right.
I know there are some laws traveling across state lines where you're supposed to
Yeah.
have them butchered to a certain level, and so you just want to make sure you're legal for your own purposes.
Now, what's kind of being more of a Western Texas hunter kind of thing going on? Like, so I imagine me and Brett going there would be totally lost. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe you'd be that way. I don't know, but like, what's kind of your strategy? Because you're not. Have you ever hunted out of a tree stand?
So I hunted out of a 2-person like tree stand one time when I was, I don't even know how old, maybe 12 or 13 if I had to guess, with my dad, and we were rifle hunting, and I immediately knew that wasn't for me. But I mean, I'm down to give it a shot. I know y'all said y'all have some extra saddles and stuff like that that I may give a shot. But yeah, my goal is get there. Use the first morning. I will hunt, but I'll kind of like still hunt, ground hunt, uh, see what I can spot, maybe find some rubs because they should have, just got out of velvet. So I'll try to set up on some sign, but I'm going to kind of use that first morning to scout type deal and see if I can find some bedding areas, some trails, and then get out there early then in the afternoon and get up in their bedding area, hopefully. That's kind of my approach. That's just how I hunt, especially because I can't glass like Arizona. So that's gonna kind of probably be my approach instead of the tree stand.
Cool. I can't wait to see your Western strategies. Um, put to the test here because I mean, if you come here and you kill like a decent sized buck or even like a smaller basket rack doing that, like the spot and stalk kind of stuff, I'm going to be like, well, I got to do that shit now. Like, I'm not going to let you outdo me.
I mean,
So it'll be interesting because I've
absolutely.
never met anybody, most of the guys around here, they grew up hunting stands and blinds. I'm sure Brett can agree to that. Like nobody's walking around the woods like, there's a couple guys probably, but I've never met anybody that does that. So it's gonna be interesting.
It doesn't normally pay off. I'm saying normally. I'm not saying what he's going to do isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. I've seen people, just to throw a name out there, like THP. Those guys were big saddle hunters for a while, and I feel like anymore they're hunting from the ground a lot, and they're making it work for themselves everywhere. All across the country, but just that's the stuff that I'm excited to see. I want to hear his details. Like, yeah, I sat here for a little bit, still hunted up the ridge to see what I saw. Saw some bucks bedded down on the bottom of the ridge near a creek. My wind wasn't really blowing towards them, sort of thing. Like, that's just interesting, very interesting things to me because, you never know what you can do. Switch it up one day. Maybe you get bored and it's 30-mile-an-hour winds. You're like, I'm just going to go walk around for a little bit. Not my style, but I'm not saying that it won't work at some point.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I've practiced. I've shot out to 110, but I usually practice around the 100-yard range with the bow, and I don't plan to take a shot like that at all. But that makes anything closer easier. And then my last 2 Arizona bucks, I've literally killed it like 17 and then 18 yards. So just getting in their zone, getting in their homes is really my plan. But if I see one at 60, 70 yards, I'm absolutely sending an arrow through them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, guys, definitely don't think that we're gonna like all be hunting on top of each other.
No,
20 people show up. This is like a giant area, so it's possible to even drive 45 minutes to an hour and still hunt Hoosier National Forest. So that's just kind of gonna be our home base or whatever. But like, you come there, you feel free to like go wherever you want. We have kind of talked about, and it's everybody's choice if you want to go solo or if you want to partner up. But I'm looking to do some filming. I will bring my bow, but like, that's more of my kind of thing that I'm going to focus on at that event. So if anybody is interested in being filmed and never had the chance, or wants to be filmed or whatever, I'll definitely do it. And I'm sure Brett would jump right in there too.
I would say that, but I think I'm kind of already accounted for, sort of. I know Saturday for sure, probably. Sunday morning, I kind of left open, just meetings people. Maybe want to switch it up a little bit, but there's going to be people going to this event that are friends and family of mine that I don't normally get to hunt with or have never hunted with. So that gives me an opportunity to step out of my little bubble that I have created for myself as far as filming goes, and just have fun with it.
Yeah. Can you kind of lay out, I guess, Kurt, you can weigh in on this too, but like kind of lay out what you're thinking about for food and stuff like that. And
I would say everybody kind of just free for all for themselves. Like Kurt said, it's not like we're going to be there a week. It's basically 2 nights, Friday night, Saturday night. And if you stay longer, that's cool too. I mean, that's just when we're going to be there. But I would say just everybody bring their own thing. We can definitely throw, whatever I cook, I'm going to be cooking probably more than enough. Mm-hmm. So people can, if I have an extra steak, you're more than welcome to it. Or I might make like some hobo dinners on the fire with some potatoes and jalapenos and all kinds of crazy stuff. But there's going to be plenty of food for sure. If it's something that your money's tight because you bought a $250 license and you're from out of state, I'll feed you. That's fine. I'll feed you if you want to come and have a good time.
Yeah, we'll work it out. Sharing is caring.
Picking up some, simple stuff, eggs, make some omelets in the morning, something quick.
Oh, that sounds so good.
I love omelets, man. The wife always makes me make them on the weekends, but yeah, I'm a big omelet guy, and other than that, I'll bring some hot dog and hamburger probably, and like I said, some brats for my mule deer. But I'm really banking on getting a doe down at least. So, I don't just want to come up there and I may not. Hey, I'm not saying I'm going to kill something, but I don't want to come up there and get lucky and kill a buck the first day, then not be able to hunt the rest of the time. I could film someone or hang out with someone, but I want to be able to have the opportunity that if all I'm seeing is does, I want to be able to shoot one. I don't want to have to be like, dang, I really wish I bought that doe tag and then not have it. So I want to.
In my experience, if you don't buy the doe tag, that's the first thing that walks in front of you.
All right.
Yeah. Well, in Arizona, you don't even get doe tags, so all you see is does.
And if there's somebody that maybe has never hunted public land, maybe you don't have a climber or you don't have a saddle or a ground blind or something like that, and it's something that you want to try, message me. I can give my phone number out. If you message me on any of these socials that I have about everyone that you can think of. I can figure something out for you. I can bring a ground blind and a chair for you or something if it's something that you really want to check out. Yeah. Like I said, I'm an open book when it comes to anything like this. I just want everybody to come and have a good time.
Question for you, Brett and Adam, for listeners. Is there baiting allowed in the state?
There is not baiting allowed in the state of Indiana on private or public.
See, now, for Arizona, but in Texas, you can bait them straight into your front door, basically, and hit them with a rock. It don't matter.
Now here you can use organic or whatever you want to call it, like normal scents or synthetic scents. There's no limitations on any of that, but that's what most people use around here. A lot of it you'll see drippers and mock scrapes. It's probably the most famous, I would say, around here.
And this time of, like we said, it's a weekend of October 22nd. It's a lot of pre-rut here in Indiana. Usually that next weekend, it's the pre-rut is in full effect, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, I feel like, on pre-rut. It was a perfect weekend. It fell in to all of our wheelhouses as having open spots to be able to pull this off. But I would definitely say that the deer are going to be moving. Hopefully we get good weather. As far as clothing goes and your sleeping arrangements, it's probably going to be in the 50s, 60 range on temps on the highs, and your lows may get down in the low 40s ish. Is kind of an average, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very weird time of the year. At least it is down here where I'm at. I'm about 2 hours south of where we're going, but it's almost like you're gonna die going to your tree stand because it's so hot, and then you're gonna be froze to death by the time the hunt's over. So you
Right.
want to pack accordingly for that.
So
But I'm also a little guy, so I get cold easy. So maybe that's why.
I don't get as cold as easy.
I don't got too much meat on my bones either. But Brett, question for you. I don't know if you mentioned it. I haven't listened all the way through the last podcast, but I know we were texting about it. You gonna have that new bow out there?
I don't know if I'm going to have the new bow out or not. Like I said, I'm so used to the one I have. It's funny. If I have an episode that hasn't been out yet, but it's going to be released tomorrow, which this is going to be released after that. So episode 40 of Blue River Bowhunting is going to be out. I'm setting a bow up for the Wild West, buddy. I'm coming west. Got kind of an invite to go spring bear hunting in Idaho. So I'm trying to throw that together. So that bow is going to be used for long range sort of thing. I'm going to keep my Matthews the way it is. I can drill tacks with that thing from a tree stand. I would not want to even touch a thing on that bow.
Yep.
But this other bow is definitely going to be more of a long range bow. My fat ass has got to get to a gym because I'm going to die on a mountain. I can already tell. Probably have a heart attack somewhere, but it's something that's coming up for me for the spring of 23 and maybe a little bit after that.
So, question: what kind of sight are you going to be running? 'Cause
I'm probably just going to go one pin with the old dial on there.
is that what you hunt with now?
No, I use a 3-pin sight right now.
Yeah, because I have a 5-pin black gold slider, and so it's my 20 through 60, and then it slides down to 100, but I can pin stack and hit like 110. But
yeah, here, man, the furthest I've ever shot at a deer in Indiana from my stand is 40 yards, and that's as far as I'm going to shoot.
yeah, I mean, I shot a buck of all places, actually in Texas. I shot one at 62 yards, but that's the furthest I've shot an animal, and I really didn't even want to shoot that far, but he wasn't coming in. Actually, it was that one. He wasn't going to come in any closer. He was actually chasing some tail. So,
Nice.
yeah, it was kind of crazy. There was a tree behind him. When I hit him, it hit the tree behind him, and he kind of pulled it out of him when he took off running. He didn't go very far at all, and then the out west states, like you're saying, to set up that far bow, like 17 and 18 yards were my last 2 shots. So
That's crazy.
completely backwards, but all good.
Now, is there anything you guys, top of your head, think of that we didn't kind of cover for people to kind of get the feel of what it's going to be? I will throw this out there. If you are interested in coming and you can't find the spot or whatever on Onyx, I just shoot me a text or a message and I'll send you the point so you'll know exactly where we're going. Maybe you think it's a shit area and you don't want to go. Like, I don't know. I respect that. You should do some e-scouting before you pack up and drive here. But yeah, I mean, just shoot me a message or Kurt, I know you have Onyx too.
Yep.
You can get a hold of him too.
Well, the reason why we picked the campground that we picked is because it's the only one that's going to be open. All the other campgrounds around that area of the state all close for the year, the weekend prior to that. And this one being a year-round, there may be other areas that have some year-round camping. I didn't see that, but it was kind of a middle meeting ground for me and Adam, since we're the ones that are going to be checking it out prior and stuff like that. It was just kind of a middle ground for us to meet up. But yeah, if you guys have, there may be somebody listening to this. They're like, listen to these guys. They're going to hunt down here. I've hunted over here for years. And don't tell us your secrets. Just come hang out with us.
No, I'm definitely going to be doing some e-scouting. I probably will get a pin of exactly where camp's going to be and then go every direction from there, just to kind of see some of the transitions and stuff that I might be able to see. But also, if anyone who has only hunted tree stands, even if they don't have a tag and they just want to come for the experience, I mean, they can follow me around, or this is the kind of hunting I do. So I'm more than willing to give pointers, or even if it's not pointers and they just want to.
I think it'd just be fun, like Troy Delaney saying that he didn't want to really hunt; he just wanted to come hang out with us. I know that guy, and he's going to be cooking up some good stuff. So I know he could be almost like a camp chef sort of thing. But I don't know. I'm really excited about this. I've never really done. I mean, I've done public land, obviously, but not a deer camp in public land, and just having people that we know and have met through doing our shows and stuff like that. I think it's just going to be a cool experience. Like, you just don't know the friendships that you can make out of stuff like that. Just for instance, us three throwing this together. I met Adam off TikTok, and then met Kurt from him being on Adam's show. Now we're three in a group message that you probably think we're freaking nuts if you would read it. But
we message almost every day. I feel like basically every day, and then not even only about hunting, just all kinds of crazy stuff, and then. Also, we met on Go Wild. I don't even know how I think I was new on there, and I was like, oh, yeah, it says you listen to podcasts. I was like, yes. And then Adam showed up, and he was looking for listeners pretty early on, and I was like, yeah, I'll message him. Why not? And I'm heading to Arizona, and I told him, hey, heading to Arizona, I'll do a podcast with you when I get back, cover my hunt. And little did I know I was going to kill a slammer while I was out there.
That's awesome.
So,
I knew it was going to happen. I could feel it in my bones.
Feel it in the nuggets.
I could feel it in my nugget. That's a new one. Must be a Texas saying.
I could feel it in my nuggets.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was really just going. I just wanted to kill another mule deer. Like I said, I put stocks on some forks, some little 3-bys, and didn't really pan out. And I saw him, and new target was acquired.
I don't blame you one bit on that.
Let me ask you this, Kurt. How do you usually haul those animals out of the mountains? You usually butcher them up?
Yeah, quarter them. We'll gut them, quarter them, take the quarters. The way we did it, my buddy and I, we've just gutted them, and then you're allowed to drive off-road. And I had a Jeep when I was living out. I still have a Jeep, but I didn't take it when I went out there the second time. The first time, and we recovered his deer and my deer by driving the Jeep as far as we physically could into there, so we didn't have to hike as far out. But the first year, my buddy and I, we just gutted it. He carried all the equipment, and I put the whole deer over my shoulders gutted. And I was actually in my American flag Crocs and hiked like a mile out of there. And then I was like, all right, the Jeep can make it to here. So we dropped it, walked to the Jeep, drove all the way back. It was probably 5 or 6 mile by the time we got back to the Jeep, drove the Jeep around, all that. But there's ways to do it.
I hope you kill a 150, 200 plus body deer 2 miles back on this public in Indiana where you're not allowed to drive.
Oh, I don't
just want to see how tough you are.
I mean, yeah, I absolutely don't need to drive. Even if I had to do it in 2 trips or get some of the guys back at camp to help. But no, I would gut it, quarter it. If it's that big, I'm caping it. But if not, then I'll, just get it as far down as I can and do a couple of trips.
I think Kurt's gonna show us some shit because he's got those mountain legs.
Well, he just made a great point. He kills something that's huge. First night, hopefully, but if he's close to camp, he comes back to camp. Hey guys, I just killed a slammer. I bet you everybody in that camp would help you drag that deer out.
Oh yeah, I bet even if it's the morning hunt, 7 a.m. and I text one of y'all that I killed a 150, one of y'all getting down to come look at it.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll be carrying it off as you're sitting on it like a king as we carry you on top of it.
Even if I kill a spike, I'm going to text you and tell you I killed a 150. You're going to get there. I'll be like, well, now you're here. You might as well help me pack it out.
Oh, that's dirty there.
That's dirty.
No, I'm not actually going to kill a spike. I at least want something outside the ears, or I probably won't shoot it because I'm actually going to hunt axis on my property this weekend. So I'm going to hopefully have plenty of meat already. I didn't get drawn for Arizona yet again. So I'll go back in January, but I'm going to hunt here. And of course, I have 5 tags I put in for public land hunts here. I have dove hunts and hog hunts planned out. So I should have plenty of meat. And if I don't, then I would shoot something smaller. But I at least want something, 100-inch or outside the ears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we just kind of wanted to get on here and make this announcement. It's coming up. It's getting close, and it'll be here before we know it. So we kind of wanted to put the information out there, give everybody time to prepare to get off work, or call us dumb for doing this or whatever the case might be. So we're not going to do a super long show. Like I said, just kind of more of an announcement of putting it out there, but. Brett, if you have any closing thoughts, and Kurt too, we'll wrap it up here.
I'd say just put the date in your phone. The weekend of October 22nd, Hoosier National Forrest, German Ridge Recreation area is where we'll be camping.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think it's pretty self-explanatory what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, make sure to get a hold of us. If you have our numbers, text us or call us. If you don't, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you can find us, message us, ask us questions, whether it's for Brett and Adam in-state questions just about the area, or me. I've already looked at, out-of-state stuff and how I'm going to travel. So if you have any questions for any of us, get a hold of us.
Now, Kurt, go ahead and throw out, your Instagram handle or your TikTok or whatever, your email or whatever people need to use to get a hold of you. And then, Brett, you can if you want to go after that, it'd be great.
Yeah, for YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, it's American Country Outdoors with no spaces. And then I think our email off the top of my head is hunting.aco@gmail.com. But we'll answer any form of social media that you get on there, and then I'll probably just give you my number so it's easier to text. And then, feel free to reach out to me for sure.
Yep. And then you can find Blue River Bowhunting on Twitter. I'm big on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Go Wild. You can find me personally on LinkedIn. My email is bwayne8589@gmail. Shoot anything over if you got any questions, and we'll do her up.
Yeah, and then of course this is going to be on Brett's podcast as well as Kurt's YouTube. So I'll go ahead and throw my stuff out there. The email is huntthewildpodcast@gmail.com, and then I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Go Wild, TikTok, all that stuff. Hunt the Wild Podcast, but I would say Instagram or Facebook would be the best way to get a hold of me.
Yeah, and I just thought about it. Maybe we can hit camp during the day or something. If I'm typically an all-day hunter, but maybe, at camp during high noon or something, we can have a little.
I would say during that time period, you would probably be doing more scouting than hunting.
You never
probably
know.
just gonna. No, I understand completely. But I'm probably going to be a morning till 11:30, 12. Go back, hang out, have lunch, sort of thing. Get ready for the afternoon hunt, and then come back after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe, we can have a little friendly archery shoot off. I'll bring my 3D target and a couple of my other targets, and we can have a little.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I never really thought of that. That actually sounds. I'll bring a couple of targets too.
So we can do something fun, have a little shoot off, friendly competition, stuff like that.
I was thinking too. I mean, I know this is kind of late because we already did all the stuff, but what about like a little chili cook-off, a little competition?
Yeah.
Ooh, you trying to get beat or what?
Oh, you don't even want to go against me, bud.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Pretty mean, spicy deer chili, but
oh yeah.
This could also be a good time if you've been looking at equipment, because I shoot a Matthews V3. I know y'all shoot Bear and some other brands. I'd be willing to let people shoot my equipment. So if you want to test equipment, this could be a little nice time to test some equipment that you've been thinking about. Test it in person, see how it shoots, or even binoculars, anything along those lines.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you guys making time to come on here on my show and record this. And I know it's gonna be on your shows too, but I just want to say, thanks for taking the time out, because it takes time away from relaxing and family and all that stuff. So we put a lot of work into this. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Like I said, get a hold of all of us, whoever you want to talk to, and we'll get you our phone number. You can text us or call us. Most of us text day and night. So
Right.
yeah. Thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Yee.
Later.